What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So this past weekend, at the residence of Vice President Kamala Harris in Washington, D.C., there was a celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. And a lot of luminaries were there, media members, rappers, industry heads. And what got a lot of noise from the media, social media, was Kamala Harris's attempt to dance at songs. And it definitely was at times Elaine Bennett's cringeworthy. All right? It's you know, look, man, I don't want to go into stereotypes. I'm trying to do that, man, but you know, because somebody's like, oh, man, what you trying to say? We all can dance? But it's just so apparent that Kamala Harris is not black. You know, she couldn't name any hip-hop artists that she was listening to when she was in college. Not really. She said Snoop and Tupac, but at the time, those guys were still in high school. At the time that she was talking about she was in college. Okay? Might have been in middle school with Tupac. Let me see, 86? No, high school. So they were just getting into high school when she was in college. So I don't know how the fuck she, you know, had her own personal DeLorean and went 10 years in the future and listening to some shit that ain't come out yet. Then she didn't even know that Tupac wasn't fucking live anymore. You know, when she was actually named her favorite living rapper. She can't dance. As you can clearly see here, she ain't got no rhythm. She just stiff. You know, I mean, it's just whatever, man. It's just well, I will say this. There is one thing that she'll do for black folks. When she said infamously in that Breakfast Club interview that she won't do anything for black people. Well, there is one thing that she'll do, and shout out to Willie D because he said this in his video. She will pander for black votes. Oh, they will pander for our votes. They just won't do shit when they get it. See, when they earn them, or at least when we give it to them, they really don't earn them. When we give them our black votes, they don't do shit for us. We'll see you in about 2 or 4 years. You gonna do anything for us? Get back to us on that. So yeah, you know, this is just another situation where, you know, look, they see the polls. They see that Joe Biden is hemorrhaging black support. So even though Kamala has been a disastrous vice president and one of the worst in history, they think that she's their ace in the hole when it comes to, you know, divvying up and, you know, ratcheting up black support. But she ain't black. And I think a lot of black people are starting to catch on to the game. You know, a lot of black people are starting to catch on to the game of politics when it comes to the Democrats and us. You know, now it's funny, you know, when I say these things, you got some people that think that by default I'm saying vote Republican, which is not something I said at all. But what I'm saying is, don't just automatically vote for a Democratic candidate unless they're talking about the same things that you're talking about as far as their agenda and your agenda. Now look, on the local level, hell, you can get involved. You have more of an effect on the local, state, regional, local level, especially local level in politics, than a national election. So you don't really have to vote for president, to me, to be honest with you. I think what's more important is not who's president, but the makeup of Congress. As far as what you want your agenda to be, or what you want done. Even though one person can't affect the makeup of Congress, but if you're a black person, what hell good does it mean if you do got a Democratic president but a Republican House and Senate? Ain't shit gonna get done. You know what I'm saying? But then again, there was a 2-year window when Obama was president, and there was a Democratic House and Senate, and with the exception of Obamacare, shit didn't get done either. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's more pandering from Kamala, you know what I'm saying? That's all she's good for. You know, shucking and jiving for black votes. And, you know, there's also, I told you, this poll that came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago now, that shows that not only are the poll numbers awful for this administration, but even within the party, the support for the party is dramatically falling off, even with Democrats. So now it's like Joe Biden, you know, more and more he's showing that he needs to be in a nursing home somewhere. If you think I'm exaggerating about that, look at Joe Biden when he debated Paul Ryan back in 2012. Look at how he talked. Look at how he responded to questions. Yeah, Joe Biden's always been a guy that would say some dumb shit, but look at how Joe Biden sounded and responded to questions in that debate, and look at him now. And tell me you don't see the deterioration. He needs to be in a nursing home somewhere. But then again, if you put him away via the 25th Amendment, she becomes president. So, you know, look, it is what it is, man. You know, that'll be even bigger disaster. So, I ain't telling you who to vote for, but she'd be a fucking disaster to be president. A fucking disaster. We wouldn't be respected around the world. She doesn't do her homework. She as you see demonstrated in this photo, she's a finger pointer. She likes to point the blame of her incompetence towards others. She doesn't hold herself accountable. She holds others accountable, but doesn't hold the same standard for herself. And we know how she got to the top, or nearly to the top anyway. It wasn't from her oratorical skills, it was from her oral skills.